Hello, gorgeous goddesses. This is Millen Livis here, your host in this group, and the wealth architect and financial freedom mentor for women. I am so excited about this opportunity to introduce you to some of the goddesses from this group, to share their services, to share their talents, to share their brilliance. And if you are interested in being featured in this series called Meet the Expert, I would be happy to talk to you. So just private message me, and we'll decide when we're gonna have this interview with you. Anyway, so today, as you know from my previous post, I'm super excited to have our beautiful, brilliant Eileen Santos back here with us. Hi, Eileen.
Hello, how are you?
And I just want to tell you that I'm so grateful that you graciously agreed to come back. I was so frustrated and disappointed that internet didn't allow us to have our interview in full format. So I would like to take two today and ask you other questions, and allow, if someone will join us live, allow these ladies to ask you questions as well. So thank you and welcome again to Meet the Expert, Eileen.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here with you. And everything does happen for a reason. So I'm sure we were supposed to do a take two on this, and I'm happy to join you and your beautiful community.
Thank you so much. So last time you shared with us a little bit about your story, how you transformed from being a corporate woman, from working for corporations, how you decided to follow the message that you receive in your dream and became a modern-day shaman. And you also shared with us that you channeled the high consciousness entity called Ishtar, and that you can ask any questions and you receive answers. I believe you also mentioned that you actually speak soul language, and I'm not sure we got to the point that you actually became a spiritual artist. So if you could share with us a little bit about how did it happen that you suddenly started speaking soul language, and how the art entered your life, spiritual art, and maybe you could show some pieces of your art and explain what they mean. So please.
Sure. So the dream was really the catalyst for everything to start to unfold. And I began to meet people, and the art actually happened when I was still working in corporate. I used to work for a student lending company, and one day they had a craft show for employees, and they asked employees to bring in any pieces of art that they had made. And there was a woman that I knew in the sales department, and she had painted a nude woman in 3 different poses, and I actually bought those paintings. And that day I was like, ooh, I feel like I'm supposed to do something artistic. So I went to Michael's Arts and Crafts, and I didn't know what to purchase, but I went into the art supplies area, and I just started to look and just feel. And I ended up buying a pad of drawing paper, pencils, pastels, acrylics. I wasn't sure which medium it was. And I started to paint, and it was a nude woman. And I'm going to show you here because I have my paintings here with me. And that one's called Spiritual Awakening. Let's see if you can see it.
So you just started, yeah. Wow.
And
wow. So you just started painting like just started? You didn't paint before, did you?
No, I mean, as a child, I always loved art, but it's like all that was inside of me was kind of dormant. It was waiting for me to meet it. And in my book, Unmasking Your Soul, I talk about that we all have these unique, I call them God seeds within us. And that when our vibration matches that vibration, those gifts begin to naturally open up within us when we surrender to them. So I always loved art, and it was easy for me to surrender to that. And it was also very healing. And so that painting, Spiritual Awakening, is all about recognizing your own inner being.
Could you show other pictures? Do you have other pictures maybe that you could you would like to share?
Absolutely. So this one is called Finding Love Again. And this is about divine self-love. So each of these has different universal soul messages. And I use them to start conversations with people.
Hi, Alexandra. Good to have you with us. So, Eileen, could you share other pictures? I can't believe, but it's I cannot hear you again.
Okay.
So if you can hear me, please just share other pictures with us and keep talking. And Alexandra, if you have any questions for Eileen, please type it and she will answer them.
So just a couple more here. There's actually 22 paintings. This one's called the Gitana Goddess Warrior. And this is about trusting in your journey, in the direction that you're being taken. And there's 22 of these that I've painted since about 2004. And I use them to help people begin to understand and connect with their soul.
So, Eileen, I hope you're talking because I cannot hear you. I'm so sorry. I don't know what is happening, but please just keep sharing.
Yes. And so the paintings were really the beginning of me beginning this journey of healing and transformation. I was still working in corporate, but I began to surrender more to what was coming through from the divine. And I began to meet people. And I still didn't know at that point that I was supposed to be a healer. And it was actually in a meditation class that a woman came up to me at the end and asked me, "What do you do for a living?" And at the time I was in marketing. And I said, "Well, I do marketing." And she said, "Do you know you're supposed to be a healer?" I didn't know what she meant by that, but I continued to surrender and discovered that I had the ability to do healing through energy. There's different modalities. You've probably heard of Reiki, and there's hands-on healing and many different modalities where I would be taken to different places and really began to surrender to my gifts. And I want to talk about the channeling because Millen had asked about that in the beginning. And again, as I continued to work on myself and with the help of others, because I've had other healers work on me and shamans, and have an amazing team of people that have helped me get to where I am today. Through that, I was able to really surrender to some other gifts that I didn't know were there. And one of them was the ability to channel. And there's a consciousness called Ishtar. There are 227 galactic souls that channel through me. Their mission is around peace and love for this earthly realm. And so when they speak through me, my voice changes. I'm very conscious of them being there and speaking through me. And I also speak soul language. If you've heard of light language, it's similar. It sounds a little different than that. It's the same concept as speaking in tongues. It really is meant to help you receive wherever you need to receive the energy so you can release something. And many times it's also for you to be able to awaken to deeper gifts within you. And that really came to me probably about 5 years ago now. I started to channel, and it really feels natural to me now. At first, it was a little scary because I didn't know what people were going to think. And, you know, the human part of me was getting in the way of what is really natural and why I'm here and why I was created. So if you have any questions around that, I would be happy to answer anything you have. And if not, I can continue talking about my story. I'm watching here to see if you have any questions. So for those of you, if you're watching us live or after the fact, I would encourage you to begin to connect more deeply with who you are. That's really why I'm here. It took me, you know, almost half of my life. I was 38 at the time when I had my dream of awakening, and really have been on that path for the last, you know, 14 years, surrendering to who I am. And many moments of fear and moments of the dark night of the soul, and I've had near-death experiences. And they all served me to help me surrender more deeply who I really am. And that's when I worked on getting help and removing what was in the way, I was able to allow the other things that wanted to express through me to do so. And one of those, as I mentioned, was the artwork. I also play the guitar. I can't read music, but when there are songs that I'm meant to sing, I get the melody and the chords. And I sing a lot when I'm working with people, because it turns out that my voice really is my gift. And not surprisingly, my voice has been the part that I've been scared of most of my life. So your greatest gifts usually come from your greatest fears. And I'm just going to allow you to experience, you know, Ishtar, and let's see if there's some soul language that wants to come through for you. Hello, dear ones. We are Ishtar. And we are so honored to be here with you. We know that if you are listening to this broadcast, then you also share a mission of bringing more peace and love and light to this world. You all can see what is happening now. A time of lots of chaos and duality in the darkness and the light. It is so important for each of you to truly surrender to who you are, to allow the love that you are to be expressed through you, because only in community, only through that love can this earth realm shift and ascend into where it's being taken. Find that place within you where that love sits. In the center of your heart is the portal for you to connect with your own divinity, for you to connect to that place where love is eternal, and to see yourself spreading that love to yourself and to the world. Through the work that you express in this world, bring that love forward always. For love is the answer to all that is happening here. There was a time on this earth where love was fully accessible and people lived in community supporting one another. And that all changed over thousands of years as vibrations of violence and greed and hatred began to enter the matrix of this earth realm. But you have the opportunity to change that by just being who you are and bringing that love forward onto this earthly realm. Join together heart to heart, mind to mind, soul to soul, to bring forth the love that exists within each and every human being on this earthly realm. For that is the key to restoring the earth to what it once was. You are love and you are loved, and you are always supported and loved as you express who you are. And we encourage you that in those moments where you feel stuck or afraid, to find and reach out to your community so that you can move forward on your journey to serve in that love. We are honored to be here with you to express that love to you and to remind you that it just takes a breath to go within that place where you are that love. Thank you for allowing us to express and be that love for you in this moment. We look forward to connecting with you again in the future. So that is Ishtar, and their message is always one of peace and love. I'm here to help people find who they are, just as the divine helped me find out and surrender and allow the gifts that I hold to be expressed through me. And it's only when the fear gets in the way that it blocks us from being who we are. And when that fear comes up, you acknowledge it and you move through it. And if you can't move through it on your own, then seek the help to do so. I'm a good example of having held many, many fears. And once I started to get assistance, really allowing me to feel confident in allowing my gifts to be expressed. And I'm just going to give you a sample of the soul language that I spoke about earlier. The soul language, again, is meant to help you release something, and sometimes it helps awaken. You will receive it exactly where you need to receive it. And so I'm just going to allow some of that language to be spoken now. And so for those of you listening, I would just encourage you to close your eyes and just allow yourself to receive this energy wherever you need it. It will go directly there. Itiale uti no shula tatorinite sahane urinia. Eleano une shale hane uti sahane urinia tiala sahane ute. Eteane uti shuale te sahane urina tia shele tu. Ela o shane tu arine sale tu singiti alea. Ilete tu arine shahele te surine te tina shua te sane. Ale urina shua te sahane u te sahane ule a. E a tu suane shalata suarine tiele na. He ane ano te. Hane a ho ye ya. Ye ya o ye. Hae o ye. Hate urina te shalata su. Leane urina shonde sa. Wate sale tu areneti alahane. O te shande su areti. And so some of that, of what was spoken, was also to help you surrender more deeply to who you are, to awaken more deeply to the voice of your soul, the which speaks to you through your higher self, your inner wise self, whatever you may want to call it, your intuition, allowing you to sink in more deeply and not allow the noise to keep you from that wise part of you that is ready to guide you in every action, in every moment of your day. And so I encourage you to practice that as well. If you have a spiritual practice or whatever it is, meditation, it could be walking, right? We're all different. Whatever that is for you that allows you to connect with the stillness within, begin to ask your soul to make itself more present to you. And the minute you set that intention, you will begin to feel more connected, and your soul will communicate to you through different means. It could be through journaling and writing. It could be through other people. You could be watching a movie and receiving a message through nature. So just begin to pay attention and be aware of how your soul is communicating to you. I get a lot of messages through my dreams as well. Just be aware and begin to pay attention. And the more you observe and pay attention, the more messages you're actually going to get. So just surrendering to that part of you that is so wise, that is so expanded. There are no words to express the level of connection that your soul has and the embodiment of all the wisdom and knowledge that you carry through all the different connections with planes of consciousness as well as other lives that you may have experienced. So make that part of your daily practice. And one of the things I like to do is to, after I meditate in the mornings, is to connect with my soul. And I just call them divine love notes, really allowing my soul to speak to me. And it just takes a couple minutes, and I'll just either ask a question of how my soul is asking me to serve on that day, or if there's something that's in the way of me moving forward with something I know I need to move forward, then I'll ask the question and your soul will give you a response. And the way you know that it's coming from that beautiful divine being that you are is that it's always going to be a very loving message versus your ego mind where you will feel the difference. It typically is trying to keep you in your comfort zone. So it's coming from a vibration of fear instead of love. And that's part of what is wonderful to practice is more awareness of when it's your ego mind versus your higher self, which is the expression of your soul speaking to you. So that if it's your ego mind, then you know you need to stop and connect into a deeper level of expansion before you make any decisions. And once you practice, it's like anything else, it becomes much easier. And then you'll get to a point with even just one breath that you can immediately connect to that deeper part of you and use that as an opportunity when things happen during the day where the noise begins to come in, to take a quick break and take some breaths to reconnect you to that expanded part of you. And so I'm not sure if Millen can hear us or see us, but I wanted to thank you for having allowed me the opportunity to come again to speak to you. Hopefully in the future, we'll be able to connect with more ease. If you'd like to contact me, I will put information down in the links that that Millen has put in the community, and I'll put my links there. I'm always happy to connect with people and do discovery sessions. So feel free to reach out if there's anything that you'd like to ask. I'm here to serve. So Millen, I'm just going to see if I can get you on Facebook here so that you can ask your question.
Eileen, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let's see. I'm still here holding on, seeing if I can, I think.
You know, it's pretty amazing that every time I have an interview with you, it's very challenging experience in terms of technical connection. So I just want to thank you very much for your time today and for sharing with us your wisdom and the messages from Ishtar, and speaking the soul language with us and sharing your beautiful spiritual paintings. Thank you so much. And I hope maybe we'll see you again under better internet circumstances, okay? Thank you so much. Much love to you. Much love to you ladies. And again, my apologies if the quality of the video is not great. I do the best I can, and that's pretty much it. But I know that I love you, and I wish you all the best, and I'm sending you love and blessings.
Take care, everyone.